Nostalgia Lane at the Hot Rod and Custom Auto Expo at Rosehill. Good evening, Dale.
Evening, Howard.
Mate, look at what we got to watch tonight.
There's some good stuff here.
So this is the Nostalgia Lane department. So these are all the true hot rodders and their own little area. And of course, what we've got straight up now is some gases.
Some old school gases.
Some gas. Look at that, eh? Now, I put a reel up. I'd been there an hour.
Yep.
Done my bit of a reconnaissance about what I was going to do. And the first thing I did a reel of was these cars because they are cool. Very cool. I mean, I don't know that I'd ever owned one, but I just reckon they're a cool thing.
Well, it goes back to the street machining roots, doesn't it?
Sure does. I really loved their take on things and their creativity. And I mean, a lot of it comes from what was did back in the day, but they've still got to come up with something new all the time. You wonder if he's part of the shifters. Mr. Shifter.
With a small 489 cubic inch
big
motor.
Big block Chevrolet, but look at that cool injection. I always loved that style, that offset jagged.
The staggered.
Yeah, that's pity they didn't put that on a Ford, but anyhow.
Yeah.
Can't help things.
Can't have everything.
Can't have everything. So that was the one from Motorex.
The Thunderbird,
the Thunderbird, but there's another big Galaxy. So I talked about how they race these things at NASCAR and stuff.
Insane.
And then what about the little Anglia, mate?
Yeah.
Eh? And Mr. Ford. So we're going to stay with that race car theme now, Dave. We've got a few more old school races. Check some of these out. So the old stock car.
Wow, the old side valve V8.
And what about the bullet nose? So,
wow.
Hey, I'm not
cool.
sure where that ran, but
No.
maybe on the Salt. Another stock car. It's cool how some of the stuff's still around, eh?
It is.
Now these guys, I haven't chatted to them. They had a car that was meant to be there on show, and it didn't make it.
Okay.
And he said we had this in the corner, another project that'd been stuck away for a couple of years, so they dragged it out, put it on a trailer, and assembled it at the show, just to fill their spot.
That's
That's
good.
pretty cool, eh? But I liked it because it just showed that whole thing in bare metal, some of the classic parts they had there. 50 Shades.
It's definitely grey. Oh, it's got cup holders though.
Red interior with a green engine.
Yeah.
That's getting out there.
Watch out for their moon eyes.
So you can't sort of film this in the morning because the sun comes beaming through those windows and
true.
kills the light. And then when you come in at night like this, it's almost not enough light, but the camera's doing a good job. I like his suitcase collection. I don't know, 34 maybe that one, I think.
I'm expecting to see some bloke hanging off the running board with
that one's got a full height roof, you see that? Unchopped 5-window. Heather said to me the other day, how come it's a 5-window when it's got 6? Have you thought about that yet?
No.
Eh?
No, that's too much for my brain.
The windscreen doesn't count. She couldn't work out why the windscreen didn't count. So sometimes I get a bit lost here. I go, where am I going? Ranchero, I reckon.
That's a different look, isn't it?
About a 60, 59, 60 or something like that.
Yep.
Now the silver on this, it's almost like a pewter. But it was unbelievable in real life. Look at the camera struggling. It just was so nice. Unbelievable paintwork. Just incredible.
It's like Quicksilver, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks slippery. Oh, that's a cool look. Different colour.
That's like an early chef. That used to have those rocker covers and all on one of his boats with the 4 Stromy. Remember that story I was telling a long time ago?
Low life.
One thing about being old, though, we got plenty of stories to tell. Yeah, check out the front of this.
Holy dooly.
Hang on, wait for it. Look at the nose of that.
What's going on here?
Hey, that's full custom, isn't it? It's a bit like a Ford Edsel grill or something. And then a little supercharger hanging off the 4-cylinder.
Off the 6.
Or is it six-cylinder?
6, yeah.
I'm grooving to the music.
It's cool music. You've done well, Louise.
It suits the cars.
Yeah. That white and gold works well, doesn't it?
It's funny, old Dobby Min actually was talking to Adam. I said, we're going to go to the Saturday night. They have a rock and roll, 50s style thing. And he goes, I don't know if I can listen to that much 50s music.
Adam.
Yeah. But they play it all weekend, and by the time you leave there, they pretty much had enough. But it's a really, if you're into that 50s, 60s and, all this early stuff, mate, this is the only show left in Australia, really, that puts on a show like this. Side valve.
Rusty Customs.
There's a guy I follow that does all these manifolds and all Australian made in Australia Foundry, and then he's got to linish them all and blast them and polish them, and he's the gangster car, mate. Look at that.
Yeah.
Now we're going to see some cars shortly that they have a beach run.
Right.
Every year with the rods.
Okay.
And they race on the sand like they used to back in the day. And we'll see some of that in a minute. But if you're wondering why some of the cars are a bit dirty, that's why, because they've come straight from the salt deliberately.
Yeah, not much salt on Lake Eyre down there at the moment in South Australia. It's full of water.
They just got a big lot, did they?
Yeah.
Well, they needed rain out there. The salt race boys mightn't like it, but it's definitely been dry. Misled youth.
Yep, very appropriate.
There we go, there's that look with the 6 carbies.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that engine is. Someone might help me with that.
It's got a big V.
There, mate, the spinner. Single spinner.
I could still see you doing
chopped
one of these.
And channeled and played with and then patinaed up. In my old age, I reckon.
Yeah. In your spare time out.
Yeah, that's the one.
Always made me laugh. They got tiny tail lights for the size of the car.
Yeah, I know. Actually, someone was telling me they're following a hot rod home from this show, and he put the indicator on, and the light was this little tiny bulb. Now, I like a bit of alternative stuff. What about that? Well, where
That's
am I
definitely
going?
alternative.
Oh, I haven't finished doing this. I'm trying to dodge the crowd. So that's the boys from Smith's Concepts there that we're going to see a couple of cars that they've just finished, which is really nice. Classic hot rod. That's like the SoCal look.
Yes, it is. It
Yeah,
is.
I'm back to it now. I've made it a bit hard for Louise with the chopping and changing what I'm doing at the moment, but belly pan. So they use the tank off an aeroplane.
That's right.
To make the body because they're aerodynamic. And then they put their running gear and hang the little wheels out from the outside and go and do stupid speeds on the salt. Very cool. There's a family out in Broken Hill that do a bit of that racing. We should try and go and see them when I go out there in the middle of the year. What's this? Levels.
Our friends.
If you need bigger springs.
Or a GVM upgrade.
Or sway bars.
Or shocks.
Anything you need to upgrade your car or your truck. They probably even make trailer springs too, for all we know.
I think they do just about everything, Howard.
So, lovelsauto.com.au.
Yep.
Find your nearest distributor and get in there and get the best suspension in Australia for your vehicle, whatever it may be, whether you're off-road, running the streets or on the drag strip. They've got it all.
And tell them Howard sent you.
That's it. Now the salt.
Oh,
This thing
Hey.
had a crowd around it all weekend.
A Hillborn injected 401.
And it just had that nice satin thing going on. And then all of the screws, on everything.
It's got that aircraft look because it goes so friggin' fast.
Got my attention. It was really cool. And I don't know how well the camera got it, but it had a sign saying "Look up" when you went into the interior. And I read that all of that aluminium was all coated.
We're looking up,
Not
people.
too bad.
We're looking up. Oh, that
There
is.
we go.
Yeah,
Look,
there
it's
you
got
go.
all the aluminium.
That's how you make your door cars lighter. You put holes in them.
That's it. A very cool car. So now we're into the beach trials. So you can see the sign there. And I thought it was quite fitting actually that they had a picture on Facebook where they'd just finished all the races and all, and it was like the sign said this is 30 minutes after the event finished, and it was spotless.
Yep.
There was not a bit of rubbish or a can or anything left on the beach. They'd had a good day out. The rattle trap. So I know that I'm pretty sure Street Machine have covered it at one stage. So a lot of these cars, as you can see, have still got the salt and the sand still on them from that outing, which was only the other week. So driven, not hidden.
Exactly. Used and abused. I like that.
I wonder why them headlights are off.
No idea. It's an altered look, isn't it?
Have a look at the dizzy hanging out the side of the side there. That's pretty cool. Nose on that reminds me of the cars that Steve Mole in the US builds.
Right,
They've all
okay.
got that style front on them. I don't know whether he created it or whether he pinched it off somebody else, but
Look at all them louvers.
and patina,
Yep.
shiny paints for show painting. Check out the supercharger, mate.
There you go.
Eh?
That's different.
Hey, that's an old school. There's a stand there selling them. That's all right.
I've got to love me a bit of scroll work.
Oh yeah.
The Pegasus.
Early Chevy engine with the ram horn.
Okay, yep.
You'd see that, can't you? The
Yep.
ram horns.
Yep. You're getting hard to find.
They probably repo them nowadays. And the old side valve with a couple of carbies on it.
I wish you could see this, folks. Howard's bopping to the music. He's got his groove on.
It fits what we're watching
Yep.
down to a T. Now, another one of them race cars. That's almost like the Formula One look, isn't it?
It is.
Check out that inlet manifold.
It's a four-banger. The big wheel.
Now, there's something special, Dale Walton. This is King Cad. So this was built by Mario like 20 years ago.
Yes.
And obviously since then Mario's passed and the car has just had a 2-year freshen. So very similar
Sweet.
colour
Yep.
to what it was, but it's been done by the guys at Smith's Concepts.
Smith's Concepts.
In
Okay.
Sydney.
Yep. Yep.
And you can see the tops of the wings there. It's just got like a white fade out line.
Yep.
And it runs down and runs inside the doors and around the top of the dash. And it's a special PPG mix but it's a one-shot, similar sort of paint that we'll be using on the panel van. But what they've done with this one is they've done the white highlights, see around the headlights and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And then on the lower sides of the car, they've done a fade up with a dark pearl,
Okay.
a blue pearl, so it's darker on the bottom than it is on the top.
Wow, there's some work gone into that.
A lot of work. And I've actually managed to do an interview with Kyle.
Okay.
You know me and names, but I'm sure that's right.
Yeah.
Smith from Smith's Concepts, and we're going to put that up as a separate episode, and he talks about the process they had to go through to manage to do that. And while they were doing that, they managed to crank this one out as well. So this is another beautiful car, and you can see there, we get inside and have a bit of a look. A lot of paintwork done on the dash, and then it's got the pin lines. You can see the light grey pin line coming down the sides.
Wow.
And then the front, the grille is all done in like a special effects silver.
Yeah, at first glance I thought it was etched or something.
Word to use. See the grille?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and it's the light on the camera and all is making that pop a bit, but it's a stunning looking car, and the sun visor's got fade outs and stuff on it.
Wow.
Yeah, really cool. So this was a bit of a tidy up because I missed this one on my walk through. So another sled. I know I've filmed that one previously, and then I think this might even be the last one because I know I had to go back and shoot this because I walked through the hall and I went, oh, I've missed that. You know, you have that feeling.
Yes.
You go, I haven't shot that because I just thought that was cool with the model and all sitting in there.
The wind in his hair.
So just a couple of hot rods outside now that all part of that nostalgia lane.
That looked like a Conrod holding the steering rack
Probably
up.
would have been.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this one and it's your first one from the hot rod show, there's two more. There's the other two halls as well.
I get upstairs and downstairs.
That's it. So if you get the chance, have a look at those as well. So we split it up to make it not too hard on the brain to watch and listen to Dale and I waffle on.
Yeah, I've got three lots of jokes, so you got to listen to all three episodes.
Look how short the wheelbase is on that thing.
That's ridiculous.
There's an old school rail in the build.
Yep. The good old red motor.
And just straddle over that diff with the legs. There's a steel.
Cool.
So I hope you've enjoyed our take on the Hot Rod Show this year. There's a lot more to see if you're going to go next year. There's cars outside as well that just come in for the day, cruise in and have a look, bit like Motorex in Real Street where we normally hang out when we go down to Motorex. They do a similar thing here. They do some startups with a few blown cars and stuff. So get up to the Hot Rod Show next year and check it out. And if you happen to be doing an XAXB Falcon, give us a call if you're after some rust repair panels. If you're after a bit of merch.
Yeah, we'd do that too.
Yep. And you could subscribe, like, comment, share.
And we'll see you in the next video.
We're on a roll. Bye.
Ciao for now.